Hey everybody, this is the Esoteric Cross. I make videos about how to gain your personal power while learning ancient secrets. And if that sounds like something that you're into, please hit the like button and subscribe and gain insight from this perspective in the cosmos. Step into the world of tarot where the major arcana holds the secrets to regeneration and transformation. Discover how each card in the 22-card deck unveils a stage of the journey from chaos, generation, to ordered manifestation and eventual destruction. Join me in this dive into the symbols, meanings, and the hidden truth behind the major arcana and what these cards can tell you about your life and the guidance they offer you towards personal transformation. Regeneration is an essential aspect of the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. In the context of the major arcana of tarot, regeneration takes on a deeper meaning, representing the process of transformation and growth. By understanding the symbolism and the meanings behind the cards, we can gain insight into our own personal journeys and the changes we must undergo in order to grow and evolve. Whether it's embracing new beginnings or overcoming obstacles, the major arcana offers a roadmap to regeneration and transformation. If you want to study tarot more in depth, check out my tarot course, which studies tarot with the Kabbalistic tree of life. This is something that most courses in tarot don't offer, so check out the link in the description and sign up if you're interested. What we are talking about is the ability to go with the flow of the changes of life and not be in resistance to the processes that exist in nature. One way of looking at it is that everything has its season. Things will not always be at their peak and things will not always be at their lowest. Understanding to work with the regenerative principles is extremely important in life because then you're able to go with the flow, but also use the challenges and downward periods to aid you in rising back up. I love this idea because in this world of hyper-productivity, humans are like machines. We are really wired to believe that we need to always be productive, making lots of money, always busy, moving, working, making gains in every area of life. And these high expectations set us up for failure. The truth is that we do have periods where we are very productive in making these gains in several areas, but things generally slow down. We will enter a winter period of non-fruitfulness. What I'm saying is to not resist it. Go with it. You have to let this be what it is. Spring will come back around and summer will come back. Things will become fruitful again. Use this winter period for rest, recovery, and planting the seeds for regeneration. In the context of the major arcana of tarot, we're talking about this process of change and transformation, as each card in the major arcana represents a stage or aspect of this journey. From birth, death, to rebirth, the major arcana illustrates the journey of the soul as it moves through life, gaining more wisdom and understanding. This can serve as a way for you to move beyond your current limitations to become more whole and complete. This wholeness contains the totality of these seasons that I was talking about. If you have a whole year, the totality of this year is made up by all aspects of this journey. It is made up of the peak of the sun, the heat, the life force energy, the harvest, the decreasing of light, autumn, the release, and the peak of darkness, the cold, the shadow, and the return of light, the return of consciousness. You will see this process play out in the major arcana time and time again. In general, we could see this in either 4 parts or 3 parts. The 4 parts are generally thought of as the 4 seasons. We have spring, birth, summer, the peak and the ordering. Autumn is both the harvest and the decreasing of energy, and winter is death and destruction. The other way of looking at this is in 3 parts. Here is one thing that I want to really convey before we explore this. What we think of as God or divinity, source consciousness, is this being energy that is underneath all things. This energy is underneath all processes of life, and it is the isness underneath the ego, persona, personality, and the self. Now, we can think of God as an acronym for generate, order, and destruction. These are the 3 parts of the cycle. Take a look at nature and how it operates. Every process in nature holds this principle. The way that a planet forms is by destruction. The sun forms because of destruction. The element of fire is an important thing to look at because fire spreads very quickly. It can represent anger. It destroys everything in its path with an intensity. A whole forest can burn down. But what happens after that is the improvement of the soil. The newly open space creates opportunity for new vegetation to grow. Through fire, nature is renewed. A hurricane can come in and destroy so much of what humans have built, but it can bring rain to areas that desperately needed it. It can replenish life in places that needed it. Every process can be viewed this way down to your own body. When you go to the gym and you want to build muscle, you lift weights. The constant lifting and pushing the self is painful. It's actually the little tears in the muscle that hurts, but then we're sore for a few days, and actually it's the tears, the destruction in the muscles, that lead to regeneration and repair. It's the repair that is building muscle and giving you the results that you're looking for. The destruction leads to regeneration. When you eat, you're putting substances into your body, in which the body destroys these substances with acid. The body breaks down these substances on a molecular level in order to be used by the body as fuel, as sustenance. The body is an alchemical machine. Psychologically and spiritually, we go through periods in life that are chaotic and destructive, and we must make the best out of these situations or leave certain people, jobs, towns, or cities. We lose friends, family members, money, and energy. These moments are painful, but there are also periods of grief, rest, recovery, and ultimately, they are moments that become catalysts for radical change and a renewal of hope. So taking a look at this major arcana, we start out with the Fool card, which is actually a place of absence. It's actually out of nothing, this emptiness, that something emerges. Here we have this first generation with the Magician, and this is the ability to make something out of nothing. The Magician is not just the generative principle, he's also the ordering principle, representing the ability to make changes and work with the energy that is there in front of us, and to be able to work with the 4 elements or even the 4 seasons of life. In many of these cards, you'll see more than one of these principles here, or you can see all 3. The High Priestess is being able to embody a state of stillness. It's related to the subconscious mind. It's the intuition and the place that we draw from to create the future. The Empress represents the generative principle. She's about to give birth to her reality. She's an aspect of the divine feminine that sits back and receives, and it's through the Empress that the creation is made. The Emperor is the ordering principle. He takes the creative energy, the flow, and he orders it. This can go quite far to the point where everything has been ordered so much that the life force energy decreases and things begin to fade. So this would be like entering into the autumn period. This is continued even into the Hierophant, where we are talking about doctrines, ideas, morals, values, and spiritual wisdom. And you could even think about the spiritual wisdom that comes about internally by going through destruction and a change. With the Lovers, we have a rising up of a new consciousness and the union of opposites. So this is going to be a regeneration, followed by the Chariot, which is again creating order and using everything that we've been learning to drive this chariot forward. The Strength card is related to the strength to keep going along this path, but it's also related to acceptance and being able to let something be what it is. It's the ability to observe the mind and observe the processes that are within yourself and to go with that flow. In the Hermit, we see somewhat of a reflection of the High Priestess, because this is going internal again, and there's this moment where we kind of differentiate ourselves from society, and certain things in the past fall away. So we're also talking about a stage of letting go and transformation. The Wheel of Fortune is something we can look at a couple of ways. We could see this Wheel of Fortune being the results. It's being able to create our reality. We can also look at this as a sense of change. Something could be flipped on its head. All of the sudden, things could be working out for us, or all of the sudden, things could be going wrong. Usually it represents good fortune, but it's here at this point we're realizing that we really are creating our reality, and the situations that we find ourselves in are generally a result of the things that we've been doing, the choices that we've been making. There are exceptions, like sometimes life throws us that curveball and it's fate. The Wheel of Fortune is just being able to alchemize whatever it is that's being thrown at you. Justice is another ordering card. It's about bringing order out of chaos. The Hanged Man, again, is another card that is centering around acceptance. It's the ability to actually sacrifice and surrender. Maybe it's sacrificing the things that were important to us, but we now know that they're not getting us where we want to be in life. It can also represent the surrender within situations of intense suffering. Through this, we enter into the Death card, which is all about transformation. Here, we are really put through that purification process and we're letting go of the old life that we had. This card is destruction, but it doesn't always mean that it's going to be a painful destruction, especially if we're going through the surrender process willingly. Esoterically speaking, we're really talking about death of the ego and the personality. We can't really live without an ego, or else we wouldn't have a reason to get out of bed or eat or continue surviving. This card is both death and rebirth, so this is the coming back up of the sun or consciousness. We are stripping everything away, and what is left is temperance. We're talking about a higher state of consciousness. Temperance represents the ordering principle, but in some way, temperance really stands for all three aspects, because this is the balance between severity and mercy. It represents the ability to be able to change situations and alchemize them. It's the ability to understand what situations need more mercy and acceptance and which situations need more severity and strength and resilience, force. The journey's not finished yet. We still have plenty more to go. So this is where we get into the Devil card, and it's at this place we're diving into the depths of what is unconscious. The Devil is generally representing temptation, and we need to be able to see the things that are taking our energy away from us. It's taking energy away from the places that we really need to put that energy toward. The Tower moment is a period of intense destruction, and this can represent the moment where we have a paradigm shift. It can be more material, like losing a job or losing something that was important to us. But a lot of the times it can represent our connection to Source, and it represents a shift or a change within us, a big moment where we're faced with a choice, or we're faced with a truth, and we have to make a big decision. Again, this is about tearing something down within our lives. The Tower is obviously representing the destruction phase, and after this, there is a renewal and a regeneration. The Star is all about regeneration and hope, being able to create something out of the destruction that we'd been faced with. There's still some darkness for us to move through with the Moon. This is telling us to use our intuitions to guide us out of the dark and back into the light, to guide us back towards the truth, and this leads us into the Sun, which is obviously a card of rebirth. Judgment can also be seen as rebirth and an awakening, but I like to look at this also as an ordering principle because it's being able to wake other people up and bring them into a higher state of consciousness. Judgment is also like a death because we see the coffin in the card, and this is representing the dying off to the old way of life, and the people are rising up into a new state of consciousness. Finally, we have the World card, and it's at this point where we have completed this process. We are at a new beginning. There's an emptiness here in this card as we are detached. This is representing somebody who is standing above the world and watching things from a higher perspective. This is the observer aspect of consciousness. Regeneration is key to unlocking our true potential. By understanding the processes of generation, order, destruction, we can tap into the power of transformation and change. Through the symbols and meanings of the major arcana, we have gained insight into our own journey and how to navigate it. Remember, the journey of regeneration is a continuous one, and by embracing it fully, we can truly become the masters of our own destiny. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other related videos on this channel. I also have courses listed in the description below on ceremonial magic and also studying tarot with the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. If you want to work one-on-one with me, I offer coaching as well. There are links in the description of this as well as to where you can book a tarot reading with me. I'll also leave the link to my Patreon if you're interested in some live streams. And I hope there was something new that you were able to take away from this video. If so, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.